Hi friends, welcome. It's nice to be with you today. We're going to be reading another story of Winnie the Pooh. And this one is entitled Eeyore's Good Day. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks for being with us today. Eeyore's Good Day. The sun was only just reaching its highest peak in the sky over the 100-acre wood. But already it had been a friend-filled day for Winnie the Pooh and Piglet. Early that morning, they had agreed it was a good day to visit all their friends. First, they had dropped in on Kanga and Roo, who were just finishing their breakfast. What a pleasant surprise, Kanga had said. She had welcomed them inside and set 2 more places at the table. Pooh had already had a full breakfast, but the walk to Kanga and Roo's house had made Pooh and Piglet hungry. Next, Pooh and Piglet had stopped at Rabbit's house just in time for a mid-morning snack. Rabbit was happy to see his friends while he took a break from working on his garden. And later that morning, they had dropped in to say hello at Owl's. He was just beginning to fix his lunch and invited Pooh and Piglet to join him. "I'm not sure we can stay for lunch," Piglet said. "We have a few more friends to visit." Pooh scratched his chin and rubbed his tummy deep in thought. "Though I suppose that means we'd better keep up our strength," he said at last, plopping down into one of Owl's chairs. Now, as Pooh and Piglet made their way towards Eeyore's house, Pooh felt pleasantly full, while Piglet felt overstuffed. He hoped that Eeyore had no food to offer. "Good afternoon, Eeyore," Piglet called out as he and Pooh spotted their friend sitting in the sun. "Oh, hello," Eeyore said glumly. "What brings you out to my gloomy part of the wood?" Pooh looked up at the blue sky and bright sun. "It doesn't seem very gloomy to me," he said. Eeyore turned his eyes skyward. He said flatly. "I suppose you're right." "Is anything the matter, Eeyore?" Piglet asked. Eeyore thought it over. "No," he said at last. "I suppose nothing is the matter today." Pooh and Piglet looked at each other, puzzled. Neither was quite sure what to say. Nothing the matter? Usually Eeyore had at least one trouble to report, that his tail had fallen off, or his house had fallen down, or been moved when he wasn't looking. Eeyore lay down and sighed a heavy sigh. "I guess this is what some folks would say or would call a good day. I call it downright uncomfortable." Pooh scratched his head. "Uncomfortable?" he said. Eeyore nodded. "I'm not complaining," he said, "but nothing the matter feels an awful lot like something the matter to me." Suddenly Piglet had an idea. "Pardon me, Eeyore," he said. "I need to talk to Pooh for a second." Piglet pulled Pooh aside and whispered it in his ear so Eeyore could not hear. "Pooh Bear, I was wondering," Piglet began, "do you think Eeyore would feel better if something were the matter?" "I think that very well may be," Pooh whispered back. "I was thinking if you and I were to make something the matter, just temporarily of course, perhaps Eeyore would feel more like himself," Piglet suggested. Pooh and Piglet decided they would ask Eeyore to come with them to visit Christopher Robin. They figured that would take his mind off his problems, or rather, his lack of problems. But on the way back to Eeyore, Piglet stopped to examine a tiny ladybug on a flower. Pooh, who was watching right behind him, didn't see Piglet stop. Pooh stumbled over poor Piglet and flew through the air toward Eeyore. At the very last moment, Eeyore stepped out of the way, and Pooh tumbled full speed into Eeyore's house. Eeyore's house came crashing down to the ground. "Don't worry, Eeyore," Piglet reassured him. "We'll build it for you." "We'll rebuild it for you, won't we, Pooh?" "Yes, yes," Pooh replied, and he and Piglet went right to work putting the house back together as Eeyore looked on. As Eeyore watched his friends rebuild his house, the smallest smile worked its way across his face. Was it because now there was something the matter, and that he felt more natural, and that felt more natural to the gray donkey? Or was it watching two good friends working hard to cheer up another that made Eeyore's spirits lift? Whatever the reason, all three friends agreed it had turned out to be a very good day indeed. The thought for today is that gratitude helps us see what is there instead of what isn't. I love you guys. Hope to see you again soon on Grandpa Reads the Comics. Bye now.